Beautiful, nice and clean. Hey Dave. There's Dave. From our earlier trip, we left the car with 9 ampere hours left, so it was below 30%, around 27 I think. I'm sure now after 2 hours, you know what will happen? The engine will kick in straight away. State of charge is so low now. You listen. There you go. Engine kicked in. And let's have a look how start live data. 2.6 ampere hours less just by washing the car. It must be a feature. It must be a feature which I haven't figured out yet. How this works. Also have a look at this. We are down to 19%. No turtle. I think the turtle comes at 15 or so. That is insanely. So with idling the motor and charging the battery, we're using 3.8, 3.9 liters per hour. So this should take about 40 minutes to charge the car. Okay, so our car is down to 20%. I don't know why. It was with 27 before when I left it. And then I washed it 2 hours ago. Oh, it's warm in here. And then we're down to 17%. So we lost 10% state of charge. And look how high the voltage still is. It's still at 3.8 volt. But it tells me it is at 20% state of charge. Guys, something is going on with this car here, really. I don't know what it is. I shouldn't use this app anymore. Really. That is terrible. So there you have it again. That was the situation yesterday, before and after washing the car. Look, this is totally different if you have a yellow light coming up on your dashboard and it gives you an indication what's going on in the car, yeah? And a technician at the service center can read out this error code and knows exactly what's wrong with the car. In this case, there's no error code. There's nothing. I checked all the error codes, there's nothing in there. It doesn't give you any indication of a fault. This is totally battery related, which is not detected as a fault. The total crazy thing is, it didn't happen a year ago. It started in May last year, all of a sudden. And the only thing which was done was this update at the time, but I can't really bring them two together. So the loss of capacity while parking and the update from the recall, I don't know exactly, because I didn't have the dog at this time and I had only my gasometer, and I could see the kilometers are dropping when I come back after a while and the car was parked. And again, there's nothing happening in the car. There's no cooling while the car is parked. There's no heating because we had winter time. There's nothing like this happening. When the car is turned off, it won't do any of this just by itself. It needs to be turned on, or it needs to be plugged into an external charge port to have the cooling running. But then in the other side, it must be really, really hot to have the cooling running. I had this only once here and we had 45 degrees outside, and then the cooling kicked in for a couple of minutes while charging. So it needs to be really hot, and this was in May, so this is our winter here then, or it goes into the winter. So there's nothing happening. And the car has no battery heater. And this car has no Wi-Fi module or any schedules to program in the car to preheat the car or something. So there's nothing going on. And if so, you would hear something outside. And I was, I was testing a lot. Yeah, I was testing a lot, and I couldn't hear a thing. So you measure at one stage, and the state of charge is still the same, and you come back half an hour later, and it has lost the capacity then. If there would be something in between, you would hear a pump running or a fan going or something in the car turning on, a click or something. There's nothing. There's nothing. I left the camera, the little GoPro was sitting in the engine room recording, just to give me an indication if there is a click, like a relay kicking in or something, and something is happening. Nothing. Dead silence. You can hear me closing the bonnet, and the next thing you can hear me unlocking the car half an hour later, sitting inside measuring, and it has lost the capacity already. So I don't think the balancing system does any noises or makes any sounds anyway. It's all electronically, so it's like a transistor turning on a resistor and depleting one of the cells. And this is the only logical explanation I can have, but there's nothing happening in the car. So anyway, I read all your comments, of course, so thanks for that. And I won't stop making videos, of course. We will get there eventually. I've got some more ideas, probably what I can do to see what's going on. But this is a little bit more on the high voltage side, so let's see. The other strange thing I have noticed is when the capacity has been lost while parking, the minimum and maximum voltage of the battery pack has actually risen. So this is a really weird thing, which leads actually to more a software problem. Oh, the sun comes. Which leads more to a software problem actually. Because if you think the balancer kicked in after a while, after 2 or 3 hours, because one of the cells or a couple of the cells were too high and depletes the energy from these cells to make them all equal again, you would see some voltage drop, especially in the maximum voltage. But no, both the minimum and maximum voltage have risen. On the other hand, this is usually happening because you turn off the car, you drive the car for 15 kilometers and then you turn off the car, so the voltage rises slowly anyway. As you can see, it's very hard to determine what's going on inside the car during this process. It's very hard, and believe me, I've Googled the shit out of the internet already, and you can find information, but these are more speculations, nothing officially saying in this car 2014 to 2016 there's this and this software in it, and after 3 hours the balancer kicks in and balances all the cells. You won't find any of these information at all. So everyone is speculating, and I don't think any dealership, any service center will help you with such a problem. Even if they have specialists there, I don't know. I mean, what I'm doing here, I'm considering this as a lot of geek stuff, yeah. I mean, nobody is writing all this shit on a whiteboard in his carport and keeping spreadsheets and tables and making graphs and stuff like this, yeah. Nobody does that. So how do you explain all this to a technician? It took me half an hour in the dealership there, and this guy lost me after 2 minutes already. I don't think he did understand a word what I was telling him. The sun is terrible. And the loss of capacity or whatever it is during parking, whatever happens during parking, this is only one particular thing. I have to show you in the next one of the next videos what happened to my state of health of the battery since they have done the procedure with the car. Yeah, the balancing procedure, what they called cell smoothing procedure. See, that's even the other crazy stuff. I don't even know. This doesn't make sense. Even under very heavy load of the motors and of the battery, it shows only maybe 20 millivolt of difference of the weakest to the highest cell. And this is 80, we're talking about 80 cells here in a row. Yeah, and they have only 20 millivolt difference under 45, 50 kilowatt of power, which is insanely low. So they are all well balanced. And if you keep the car for a while and measure after 4, 5, 6 hours or something, there is literally only 1 or 2 millivolt of the between the weakest and the strongest cell. So for me it looks like everything is very, very balanced. I think they just call it a cell smoothing procedure or something, but we still don't know exactly what they have done. I mean, you can find the procedure online in the my Outlander PHEV forum, and it doesn't look like it's very complicated. So, but hell yeah. Now, kitty, sit, good boy. So it is very mysterious, and maybe they don't want you to dig around in the cars for a reason, because they don't understand it themselves. Maybe. At least, see, when this all happened back in May last year in 2017, I didn't have any tools, nothing. I was just afraid of turning on the car again when I came back from work, basically, because I knew there will be 4 or 5 kilometers less again, and I barely can make it home again. And there was nothing showing up on the dashboard. There's no light coming on, no beeping sound, what you would expect, yeah, if a fault or an error occurs in the car, that you have low oil levels or the engine light comes on and tells you please check engine or something. Yeah, that would be something you can grab and you can work with. But no, nothing. It's just 5 kilometers less. I know it's just a guess. This is just a guessometer, but you can see the battery gauge drops as well. And later on, when I had the dog, yeah, it showed you exactly how much you have lost, how much capacity you have lost, how much percentage you have lost. So you had some figures to work with, and you could do some testing and measurement and could find out when it happened and why it happens. No, not why, but when it happens. And this was more an approach to tackle this whole problem. But we still are at a point where it's really hard to, and I mean the lack of service and the quality of service I have received from Mitsubishi so far is just, I mean, wow. You will see this in one of the, I think it's in episode 25 or so. I just say map update. Yeah, I don't want to wait for this episode. It's insane. It is insane. And look, and again, don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic car. I mean, this is so much fun to drive. It's unbelievable. I'm so happy with this car, actually, to drive in electric mode most of the time and see how good the mileage is over the last year. I mean, this is, I was driving 86% on electricity, and this is here in the countryside, far away from any public charging possibilities and everything. So I'm 99% I'm charging at home, maybe even 99.8 or something. I'm charging at home here, and I still get this good efficiency out of this car, so it's brilliant. And it has four-wheel drive, it has a tow bar, it has heaps of room, so it ticks all the boxes we need. Fantastic car. But this battery. Yeah, well, I guess I'll keep on measuring then and fill up my whiteboard with numbers and figures and try to find out what's going on. What else can you do? If anyone from Mitsubishi sees that and has any questions about the car, get in contact with me. I probably have some data for you. That is totally insane. I should not do that, really. Oh my god. But it really, I mean, when you see the episode 25 or whatever, or 26, whatever it will be, you can only scratch your head and say, oh my god, this is really, I mean, the lack of service or the lack of quality of service. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we are in Australia here and the service quality is in general a lot lower than I was used to it from Europe. I have no idea. Maybe. People don't care that much about service and quality, and you have to be very, very persistent to get what you actually want. Yeah, so anyway, and this is just a little follow-up video of the one yesterday, so another unplugged video, and I wanted you to show the little footage from yesterday before and after washing. It certainly, I mean, we had the sauna going on in the car, huh? It was a little bit hot in there. But I just wanted to talk to someone at exactly that point of time, so it needed to be done. There was the sacrifice I needed to do, and I did it. So that's good. So that's why I'm standing outside now. It's much more comfortable. Okay, guys. Next video episode is coming. Next regular episode is coming on Thursday morning or so, our time, and then we go from there. And if I have the need to pick up the camera and just talk a little bit unplugged, I'll do this as well. No big deal. The camera is pretty good actually. She's listening. Not cutting off my word, not denying anything, not saying I'm wrong. Very, very pleasant to talk to the camera. So guys, there you have it. It's probably not the car, it's more me, maybe. But you know, that's alright. I'm a technician, and if something is not working as designed, I need to know why. My wife is feeding the horses now. So we will get there, we will find out what's going on in the future. Don't know how far or how close this future will be, but I'll keep measuring and recording. Thank you so much guys for watching and listening again. This is Andy from Unplugged EV Australia, signing off. Stay charged.